morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Back to Jersey. Had a day off yesterday. Felt pretty good. It's nice to just relax. It's a super rainy day, so I just chilled with a nice book all day and my doggy and recuperated. Anyway, see y'all at the job. Alright, I wanted to show you guys this fucking sensor. I gotta turn off. I wanted to show you this glass door I installed. Oh wow, that dropped a little bit. I'm gonna have to adjust that. You see that? This panel slid down a little bit. Not a big deal. I can just shim it back up. Pretty cool looking though, huh? Had to put a little protection on the wall, obviously, because this handle. I didn't film this because it was very nerve-wracking having to drill into my beautiful tiles. And this one over here, fucking 8 screws on this side, and these are very, very tough tiles to drill into. So I went through a bunch of bits, and when I got through this guy, I was drilling, and then the tip of the bit broke off in the wall. I was like, oh man, I'm fucked, because you just can't get those out. You can't drill them out because they're hardened steel and blah, blah, blah. But it worked out. I was able to get it. Thankfully, the bit came out and I was able to continue drilling. Anyway, it's pretty sweet. Seamless, you know, there's no frame around it. I wish they supplied a stopper here. Sorry, a stopper. It would go on this guy, and there would be a plastic on this side overlaying it, so the water wouldn't get through and the door would hit it and just stay centered the whole time. But we'll have to get that aftermarket or whatever. I hate this sensor for this fan. It's so annoying. Anyway, I just wanted to show this because it's pretty sexy looking. It's like really nice looking hardware too. Just all around nice looking. And I framed this out so there's wood all the way back there, brand new. So all these screws are like bad, big old screws really holding on. They give you bullshit mollies like this. I would never use this crap. It works, of course. Look how dirty I am. I just started, damn. It works, of course, but I would not trust, you know, an 80-pound piece of glass with a plastic grommet. Sorry, I'm just not going to trust that. So I did it the right way with some big old screws into wood, as you should do, because that's not going to back out. Anyway, on to the next. All right, folks, I got to patch this hole that this plumber made for me. I'll show you a cute little trick. I mean, this patch isn't huge. I'll probably just put one block here and a couple screws, and I'll show you a trick where you don't have to use any tape at all. You can just use the paper on the sheetrock. Let me square up this hole a little better and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, folks. So what we have, the hole is a 6x6 hole roughly. So I'm gonna go 1 inch over. This is already around 8. So I'm gonna bring this one around 8. Again, we don't need perfect, we just need it to be the right dimensions. Now, we've got an 8x8 for a 6x6 hole. So essentially now what you do is you just bring it back 1 inch all the way around. Now it's all marked out 1 inch all the way around. You just scribe it. On the back side, mind you, this is the back side. And that's the front side. Back side, front side. So now you just pop. Be gentle here. You don't want to get this paper off of the center. So you just slowly pop it off. We're going to do that all the way around, and now we have the paper already on the piece we need. There we go. Check that out. Let's go get some mud and install it. All right, first thing was first, you want to test fit. See if I can use this light to help. So test fit your piece. Sorry for the horrible lighting, but I'm in a hallway and there's no light. So it test fits. Now this piece is a little big. If it's smaller, I don't have to do any of this supporting, but since it's bigger, I'm gonna have to. So I'm gonna put this guy in here. Gonna start some screws. Hopefully not drop it. Now that works fine. Just nice. Now I kind of want to get some mud in there, at least on these corners, before I throw that piece in. So it'll kind of glue itself together, you know? At least it'll bond this board to this board a little bit. And I mean a little bit. So there you go. Now I can squeeze that in place. I like to push those corners so it stays flat. And just throw one screw. And let's do two. One, two. There you go. Now you can peel back your paper. Just give it a little love with the compound. And if you miss a little in the corners, throw a little there. Now we can strike all these relatively flat. You can see it's in a little bit, which I like, because I'm going to put a whole fat coat over this. Get all that excess out of there. It's a little tough with this hand rail, but that's life. You don't want to strike it too hard. You want to leave some of that mud back there. Now that that's fine, step up to the bigger guy. Get her the coat she needs. Always some random bumps you gotta hit that misses your shit. There's my first coat. When that cures, I'll be back to sand and put a second, sand again, and it's done. Alright, now we're trying to fix these lights. You see they're all hanging down, looking all stupid. These are dumb lights. These things weigh a lot. And they're reliant on these little clips, which don't do shit. Watch, you won't hear anything. There's no contact there whatsoever. How pathetic is that? So I'm gonna have to try and bend these bad boys out so I can get this to do what I need it to do. Oh boy. Sorry for the horrible light in this house today, but some rooms are just not lit well. So I'm gonna try and get this flathead behind these seemingly useless clips and bend them out a considerable amount because they are all the way flat, which doesn't make much sense to me. Which seems to be 4, which is good. Better 4 than 1 or 2. Bend them way out. This is just stupid design of lights. First, these lights are not that great to begin with, but that's life. Wow. So bending them out does not seem to do shit. Because this groove doesn't feel like it's going high enough. Well, if bending them a little bit doesn't work, let's bend them a lot. Because you can't have these lights just hanging down. It's fucking stupid. Wow, still nothing. What utter garbage. Huh. Because let's see. That groove is roughly 1/2 inch up. It's a little higher than 1/2 inch. Really should be hitting to some extent. I'm gonna really bend these now because I'm not the most patient person in the world when it comes to stupid shit. That's life. Baby's life. Alright, now these stupid lights that don't even work are in. You see, right above is the bathroom we did. See that? There's a crack right here coming up to here. It Y's off, continues, goes along that track of that light. So I'm gonna bust some screws into that sheetrock to put it back up and put a little plaster on it. Just so it's safe again and it's not falling down. Guys, this is where Grandma lives and she needs a nice, safe ceiling above her head. So let's give her one. Ooh, I just missed it. Twice. There you go. It's a certainty. Keep it straight. Ho ho! That's just sinking way too much. Go. Again, it's really popped down, so slow and steady. think you're done. Give it a couple more. So, quick little patch, nothing to write home about. On to the next. All right, folks, that's it for today. Half a day, bummer. I'm sure this is gonna make an extremely boring video, but it can't all be fun. I actually came to work today with the intentions of installing the door and doing some trim, and well, plans changed because the homeowner, she's actually not too happy with the these are panel doors, so they have really nice trim and panels in threes, 2 large and 1 small in the middle where the center line or the lock line would be on the door. And well, it's off, so she's kind of battling with the manufacturer slash supplier to see who's at fault and if we can get the proper doors. If not, well, we'll probably be forced to install them. We'll see. But anywho, so I had to just do something else. I did the final siliconing on that beautiful frameless glass door I showed you I installed. And I actually had to add a couple shims, because remember I showed you it shifted down a little bit. So I'm not gonna let it not be even, so I had to shim it back up first, and then I did the silicone at the base. And then now it's fine. So in 24 hours that silicone is cured and they can shower in there again. Then I did the little ceiling or the wall patch, and then the ceiling repaired. Again, mediocre kind of day, but they can't all be great. C'est la vie. Get to go home early. Hang out with my dog. Take her for a nice long couple-mile walk. And here's what it is. Hopefully get an answer on that come on, brain. Answer on those doors. Because it'd be nice to start installing those. Those are nice doors. Because they took 4 weeks to get, you know. That would suck to have to wait that again. Yeah, I can't go yet. Sorry. God forbid you get over with a little consideration, asshole. Fucking people, man. I don't know, if I see somebody coming and I have an extra lane open next to me, I kind of get over. Look, I already caught up to those fucking people or something else. Ah, you had to go there. Selfishness ruled. I see. Anywho, it would really suck to have another fucking 4-week wait on those doors. That would be a big bummer. I'd throw a big wrench in the plans. But I believe he's going to start demoing the kitchen this weekend anyway, so it's not like there's a shortage of work. Whatever, it is what it is. We'll see how it turns out. Just annoying because this morning you see my table saw right behind me, and I got my miter saw in the back. Lugging that shit around is not fun for no reason. And my compressors, I left it there. I'll be back tomorrow. I think he's gonna, you remember those stupid lights I showed you on the ceiling? things are garbage, and they're always burning out because they're halogens. Oh great, now I get to suffer through traffic. This is the worst time to go over the bridge to the New York side. Whee! Anywho, so I suggested that he get the 4-inch LEDs like we did in the bathroom. Those take much longer to burn out if they burn out. They say there's like, they give some stupid number like 32,000 hours or some shit. I've seen it burn out in less than a year. So don't fall for that gimmick, because it's a gimmick. LED is a light emitting diode. It's just a diode. Diodes burn out, so it takes much longer, of course. And all these LEDs now, they have processors and all kinds of shit involved. Shit that really doesn't need to be in a light. So who knows why it's there, right? Anywho, it's what it is. But they will work much better for her, and you can turn the color of them. So I like them more yellow, because I don't think enough people realize, some people do obviously, that white light, that blue light, that's noon light, like noon, you know, sun's straight up in the air, it's very white looking. So that tells your brain that's what time of day it is, so you don't really want to go to sleep because you're wired. And your cell phone has it, all the lights around you have it, the fucking headlights and cars have it. So when you're driving home at night, sometimes you're just like, oh my god, the fucking lights. So it's good to get away from that crap, or if you have to be around it, and you can, change the Kelvin so it's a little more fitting for your body. You know, your body doesn't do so well in that light. At least, you know, all day long. You don't need that all day long. It's like hospital lighting. It's like, ugh. Why do you think hospitals are soul-sucking, you know, empires? They're horrible. Horrible. Anywho, hopefully we can put those in exchange. And she also has some over her, what is it? Her cabinetry in the sink area where her countertop is. There's 5 lights there. They have the Halo, the original Halo cans, the big 6-inch ones in the ceiling. Those are good because you don't have to pull them out and rewire. You can just, like I did in the bedroom, you just take out the bulb, you screw in that extension with the adapter, and you pop in the new LEDs. You know, and then you don't have to worry about changing bulbs all the time. You just have to change the light. We'll see. If he gets them, that'll be cool, because then I can pop all those in and sand those patches, paint the ceiling, make it look nice, and she can have a nice ceiling again. Because apparently, when he was demoing, his foot almost went through the ceiling. It happens. It didn't go through, which is nice, but it almost did, so that's what cracked the ceiling. It wasn't from the banging or anything. I got the full story a little while ago, so it's kind of funny. It reminds me of the National Lampoon's movie. Remember that? When he's in the attic and he's stupidly only walking. God, it's dark in here. He's stupidly only walking on the plaster and lath ceiling rather than on the studs, how you should be, acting and being careful like he's doing the right thing. And then obviously he goes through it. So that was pretty funny. Wow, it's dark and trafficy. I can't stand this bridge. Cost a fortune. And it's bouncing all around. It's fucking scary just to sit. I hate sitting on bridges, just sitting, like, just bouncing all the time. Like, oh fuck, get me off this thing. Nice scissor lift. Or what do they call it? Not scissors, whatever. This is the worst time to drive over the bridge around noon. I'm not too sure why. It's everyone's lunchtime. You guys driving at lunch? I don't know. I don't know what people do, but for some reason there's always traffic in the middle of the day on this bridge. Maybe it's the crowd that starts work late. I guess that's a possibility. I'd rather start early than late. Even though I have done in my life a few construction jobs where it was overnight because it was a commercial application, and during the day, you just, when there's a daycare under you, you can't just be there banging away, you know, there's kids trying to sleep. That was actually kind of fun, because I mean, it was fun in one sense, because when you're working, there's no stressors around, it's just you and your work. That's always the best. And going home, there's no traffic because everyone's sleeping. You're going home at like 3 o'clock. But I remember that period is, I mean, everyone's sleeping, so all the parking spots are taken. So it was a real bitch to find a parking spot, except for those night owls that are randomly, you know, taking their car out at night. But the work was cool. And again, the drive home was peaceful. It's got its ups. But, you know, as a kid, I was my mom used to call me a vampire because I'd be up all night and I'd sleep all day. I'm the opposite now. I'd rather only be up during the day and sleep very well during the night. I get up around 6 in the morning. It's not super early, but it's a good time to get up. I don't like sleeping past 7 o'clock. Like, it's 7 o'clock to me sleeping in. Like, woof, I got some rest. Because I'm very regimented on what I do in my life. So I go to bed at the exact same time every day. 11 o'clock, I'm out. You know, it's good to keep your rhythms even, you know. You don't want to, sometimes you have to, but you want to keep a regular schedule. That's how you keep your body healthy. And your stress levels down. And your sleep cycle's normal, you know. Wow. If she could be any closer to that steering wheel, it might just punch her in the face. It's like right here. It's dangerous. Dangerous. Come on in front of me, buddy. With your Lincoln. Oh my goodness. We had so much rain the past 2 days. It's just fucking enough. Past couple years, like, New York is like Seattle. It's just so much rain. I think we had like, God, I think it was like 40 something inches the last year. It was fucking ridiculous. That's why when you look on if you just look at Google Earth and you zoom out, the Northeast is just so green and lush because it's got all the water in the world coming at it. And then you look at the opposite spectrum of America, the Southwest, and it's just bone dry and barren. I'm sure it'll flip again, and that desert will no longer be a desert, and then, well, I think it's mostly a high desert down there, I think. I don't believe it's a low-lying desert. Also, like, if you look at California topographically, like, the whole valley is a bowl. I think that's why when the original Spanish were mapping out that coast, California looked like an island to them because it was partly an island. Because that whole fucking thing was full, that whole valley was full of water. And then the San Francisco Bay Area all the way up where that little outshoot kind of looks like a little Mexico up there was an island. It was shooting out, and then it went up and gradually went up to Oregon, Washington area where the redwoods continue and the sequoias. Who knows? That's why my happy place is big trees. Some of the oldest trees in the world. I would love to live there. And the downfall about California's soil is there's such a thing as landslides, and, well, I'm not a big fan of living on something that's not so stable. Because everything you worked for and built could just be washed away, but my God, what is all this traffic? That's why I live in the Bronx. Well, one of the reasons. It's the only stable part. It's on bedrock, and it's not an island. Everything else are islands. All the other boroughs are islands, and they're not stable at all. They're low-lying. Like, even the what is it? The eastern part of the Bronx, it's almost on water level. Major storms happen, like where my dad lives over there. The backyard's always a fucking swimming pool. Mine, bone dry, because I live on a hill. Doesn't make sense. I personally wouldn't buy a house in a flood zone. No way. I'm gonna spend $10,000 to have books just for them to get damaged in the future. I'm good. I mean, shit happens. Life happens. Sometimes there's no way around it, but don't give yourself the possibility of it happening if you don't have to. I always want to live on a mountain anyway. Like to own just the mountain and live on top of it. I think would be pretty sweet. Doesn't have to be a huge mountain or anything, but it'd be nice to be a mountain. Oh my God, what is with these people today? Somebody broke down. Somebody broke down. I don't really like half days, but it is what it is. You gotta take what life gives you, not stress over it too much. Sometimes it's for a good reason, you know? You go home and maybe something comes in the mail you're waiting from and cheers you up. It actually means I get to read a little bit more today, which is nice. I've been reading a lot more the past few days, which I always love reading more. Sometimes when I'm working too much, I only have like an hour or two a day to read, and I like to have more than that. It's not enough. I like to have like 3 or 4 hours a day to read. I'm actually reading The Queen's Gambit from Walter Tevis. What a great fucking book. The TV show's amazing too, with Taylor Ann Joy. I love her. She's amazing. Well, I don't know her, but I love her look and her acting. Her acting's amazing. She's in all of not all, but a lot of Robert Eggers movies, one of my favorite directors. But that series on Netflix, if you haven't seen it, even if you don't like chess, it doesn't matter. Like, that fucking series is amazing. It is so good, and it's so good. It's close to the book. The more I read the book, I'm like, wow, all right. They really kept it true. They took a couple things out in the book, I won't spoil it, that I was like, that's kind of gross, I didn't like that. And they left it out of the series, which made it better, I believe. It's my opinion, I think it made it better. But it's a great book so far, I love it. I'm already halfway through it, it's only been like a day and a half or whatever. And 2 days. Great book, really like it. I bought the cheapo paperback because it's cheap and I wanted to read it. Because the first edition of that is like over $100, and I'm not going to drop that kind of coin on a book until I read it first, you know? And I would like, I don't know, a more modern hardback, something that hasn't been, because it came out in '82, he died in '83, I believe, the year I was born. So it'd be nice to get a nice crisp copy that'll last my lifetime, which might not be long, I don't know. We'll see. But it'd be nice to have a more modern hardback, but there's really none out there, nobody's publishing it, so it is what it is. Maybe I'll find a really nice first edition. But everyone's asking too much because the popularity of the show kind of skyrocketed it, you know? And it's a very good book. It really is a good book. It's written well, and the way he explains Beth Harmon, the main character, it's insightful. Even though, like, because she's like a 13-year-old girl, well, she starts around I think 8 in the book, and then I'm at the point where she's about 16 now. So, you know, he goes through the whole thing, like, you know, young girls and, you know, getting their cycles and stuff like that. It's, you know, you got to think of those things when you're writing about that character. And he's obviously an old dude, so it's interesting. It really is interesting. It's a good book. I like it a lot. Except in the book, she's brown hair. In the show, she's a redhead. I prefer the redhead. It looks cooler, stands out more, especially for the era. You know, that 50s, 60s era. Everything's real poppy and hip and bright colors. designers, sweaters, and all that girly shit. I think it fits better than brown hair. At least it stands out more. Anywho, good book. I actually have a couple more books coming in the mail. I got my 3rd edition of Saturnalia about Macrobius, so I have all 3 volumes from Loeb. That's pretty cool. So I can dig into those, and it has the Latin and the English translation right next to each other on the opposite pages. So that's cool. Not that I know any really real Latin. I know some, you know, the basics. But it's nice to have it. I like to read about the Saturnalia. It's a very interesting time of Roman history. And, you know, before the empire fell. And then I have, what do I have? Oh, the Penguin Classics. I have Snorri Sturluson's poetic or prose edda. I wanted another copy of that. I have a cheap old hardback that's not really a hardback, and it's just, I don't think it's the whole work in it. So Penguin Classics, you can trust them. So I got that one instead, and it was super cheap too, and it's a paperback, so you can beat up a paperback and not feel bad about it, you know. I mean, my paperbacks are pretty mint looking for the most part, because I really try and treat my books with respect, because I want them to stick around. But I have like the Icelandic sagas and the Penguin Classics, that big, thick, it's a big, beefy, boring ass fucking book. It's a snooze fest. Son of Lathen, just goes on forever. It's so fucking boring. But it has a lot of interesting stories, obviously. But I've had that book for like 20 something years, and it's a paperback, and it's still holding together. It's, you know, because they're made well. That's what you want. What the fuck are these guys putting up now, you scumbags? Ah, more security in this police state of New York. Why people allow this shit to happen is beyond me, man. It's not for your safety, people. It's for your surveillance. There's a difference. They just say it's to keep you safe. Wake up, folks. Wake up. Already back in my neighborhood. What is that, 21 minutes with traffic? I love that. I think I'm gonna go get a bottle of vodka. I want a couple drinks tonight. I got a new movie I want to watch, even though it's getting bad reviews. It's the new Nick Cage movie, Dream Scenario. Looks interesting, so I'm gonna check it out. I don't follow reviews, because every time I follow a review and I watch, they go, what the fuck was that person talking about? This movie's amazing. Or that movie was horrible. The hell were they saying? My taste is very eclectic compared to some, so whatever. I'm gonna go by my taste. Except Rainfield. Oh my God, Nick, what the fuck? That movie was horrible. That was the worst vampire movie I've ever fucking seen in my life. I watched that when I went to California. I might have said this before, but I watched that in California when I went to go visit my mom and my brother. God, that movie sucked. It's like we were all falling asleep watching it. And Nicolas Cage is an amazing actor, but that fucking movie was horrible. I wonder if it was the writing. I don't know. It had great actors in it, but the movie just sucked. Fucking dog dick. Horrible. Anywho, I'm home. I'm sure this video won't be that exciting, but it's another video to watch. See y'all tomorrow. Thanks again. Bye.